Thanks for joining us for 5 on 5. I'm Joe Sullivan. Pleased to be joined today by Dennis Linthicum. And Dennis, thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thanks. So Dennis is running, Republican candidate for Secretary of State, auditing a big issue with power. How does your experience as state senator help in the auditing role as Secretary of State?
Well, as a state senator, we ask a lot of key questions, and then we're always looking for answers. When you think about the auditor, he's doing the same thing. People typically think of auditing like in a financial sense. Where's the receipt for that? How does it show up in the books? Are the debits and credits right? But there's more to auditing from the Secretary of State's perspective, because there's a lot of compliance issues. There's regulations at the federal level, there's regulations at the state level, there's agency intercompliance amongst the cooperating agencies, so there's a lot of information to pay attention to.
We saw Dennis Richardson win statewide office as a Republican in 2016. How does that successful campaign inform your strategy this year?
Well, very similarly, I think what's interesting about Oregon, since we've done what is the slang for motor voter, there's 30% Democrats, 30% Republicans, and 40% non-affiliated, because when you get a driver's license change or DMV alteration to your address, you become an unaffiliated voter. So that bloc never got their voices heard in the primary. My campaign is wondering, who are those people? Where do they live? How will they get a chance to shake my hand and meet with me? And how will we be able to muster support for my campaign from those individuals?
How do you get the support from the Portland suburb to win the Secretary of State vote?
Right. Well, I think in the Republican venue, what we'll do is we'll use the central committees. The public, it's probably too much detail for them to get floored with today, but there's 50,000 registered Republicans that did not vote in Multnomah, Clackamas County, and Washington County. So that's a large segment of the population. Then there's 75,000 in each of those respective counties that are non-affiliated and never had their voice heard. So getting to that is a little bit of precision marketing using the digital tools that are available in the modern era.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with more. Stay with us. Welcome back to part 2 with Dennis Linthicum, Republican candidate for Secretary of State. All right, so voters across Oregon approved the law preventing legislative walkouts. You walked out of and prevented you from running for re-election. Do you regret walking out?
Yeah, no, not at all. What we did was we brought the Democrat majority to a negotiating point that they weren't willing to go to in the first place. And it's not against the Constitution to do a walkout. In fact, it's much like a batter. He steps up to the batter's box, he gets 3 strikes, he heads to the dugout. But he can play again, he can come back again and again and again. It's just 3 strikes, you've got to head to the dugout. You don't get any more attempts this time. So the walkout actually prevented me from running again. However, it does not prevent me from running for higher office like the Secretary of State. So I will be proud to be your new Secretary of State coming November.
We've got about a minute left. During your time in the legislature, what has the Secretary of State's office done well?
Well, one of the things we just saw in 2024 is they recognize $2.9 billion in misallocated funds. Now, for the public, $2.9 billion is 2,900 $1 million homes that somehow the state misplaced across 31 agencies, or 31 instances, only 11 agencies. So these are big populations of $1 million mistakes, some of them multi-million and less others less so. But auditing is an important feature of the Secretary of State's office, and that's something they did right. There are many more agencies, executive agencies in particular, that need thorough and rigorous audits.
All right, Dennis Linthicum, thank you for stopping by and
Thank
joining
you.
us today. Candidate for Secretary of State. Stay with us. We will be right back with more local news.